Good morning. This is Arna. Today discussing about the topic is querying multimedia databases. In this section, what that introduction is a multimedia database management system. The shortcut is MMDBMS is a framework that manages different types of data potentially represented in a wide diversity of formats on a wide array of media sources. For each medium, there are different properties that could be used as a basic of a comparisons. First one is the images, that is the color, shape or text. Next one is the audio, that is the frequency, tempo and rhythms. And next one is the when users ask for similar objects, that is appropriate type of similarities way used to be indicated. Properties that human being use to compare objects are rather different from those a computer system would need to use. The process of querying multimedia data is complex and we can approach in two ways, that is what information can be retrieved, how information can be retrieved. And next one is the levels of complexity associated with what, that is level 1, the query is find clips of objects flying from top right to bottom left of screen. The description is retrieval of primitive features such as color, shape, texture and object movement. Next one is the find a clip of an aeroplane taking off. The description is retrieval of logical features related to the identity of object within the media. Next one is the find a picture of nutritional disasters. That is the retrieval of abstract attributes associated with an understanding of the nature of purpose of the object. The level 2 and 3 is the semantic media retrieval, and semantic gap would be the difference between the simple queries at level 1 and those at level 2 and 3. And classification with how. The how can also be classified on the basis of whether the information is retrieved by attribute based system and text based system and context based system. Attribute based retrieval, that is uses set of structure attributes and principles used must be copied up with the giganet media objects such as video clips and effective to text data and limited to level. And one first queries does make use of any images. And next table definition for ABR system, that means ABR system, that means the attribute based retrieval, that is the ABR. And example is create table and table name is song and these are the attribute names and data types. CD reference, that is the character and size is 60, and those are the song ID, artist and title, script writer, duration, audio source, and these are all the attributes and the attribute names and size also. And the primary key is the order reference and song ID. These first two attributes are the primary keys. Next, context based retrieval, CBR. So important details can be extracted from the media by automatic methods. Next, more efficient for data capture and more reliable for data retrieval and ABR level queries, and TBR and CBR for level 2, 3 which implies with semantic gap based on the user's association and impression of an image method to define the semantic quality and similarities of images. Next one is the context based retrieval, the mapping from the user's ideas and concepts to both raw images, data and image characteristics. Image image, and that can be user ideas and concepts, and that can be image characteristics. The technologies can be used as a attributes based, text based, and context based. First one, the attribute based is, it is a fixed set of structure attributes with index based on the B plus trees and inverted files. Next one is the text based. Text descriptions and structure fields indexed by full text, that is a scanning, inversion files, and signature file methods. Next one is the context based, that is the context features automatically extracted. These are, first one is the attribute based, next one is the text based, next one is the context based. And remember these three, attribute based on the B plus trace, and text based are the scanning files and signature files, that one, and context based as the automatically extracted. Okay, remember these three. And next one is ontology. Ontology is a set of concepts and categorized in a subject area or domain that shows their properties and their relations between them. Next, key information about the kinds of objects in the database can be captured, reused many times for many different queries with any kind of metadata. Next one is the domain ontology. It is an ontology encoded the semantics of specific logic application area. Ontology can be formally specified and very clearly defined because it is shared and it is view of a group and not just an individual. Next example is ontology about the movies. Create subject classes such as the actors and list of series of assertions that are statements that are true. Add details such as classes that can be have slots which describes the characteristics. Next, how is metadata is used in a query process? Helping particularly when considering design options to classify the metadata relative to three types of information of retrieval: context independent and context descriptive and concept dependent. Context independent used in a ABR, that is the associated with the media. Example is photographs and names. Context descriptive means used in a TBR. Context dependent is used in CBR. Features of faces from the photographs or video operation in a clip. Context descriptive metadata. Domain independent metadata, independent of application and subject topic. File formats, compressions. Domain independent metadata, specific to the application area. Next, summary of metadata and classes for different media, that is text, speech, image, and video. The first one is the text, that is the status, date of update, components, and locations. And context of description is the keyboard, category, and format. And coming to speech, that is the start and end time, location, and confidence word description. That is the context description is the speakers, and images is the creator, title, date, and the context description is the format, keywords, and video is the product title, date, and distributors. And these are description is the camera, shoot, distance, and example, close up, and shoot angle, action, description. These are the text, speech, image, videos, independent and descriptive. And next one is the dependent. Dependent is the text is the subtopic, boundary, word images, spotting. Next, speech is the speech recognition and speaker recognition and a change of meaning. Next one is the image, future selection, image characteristics, example the histogram and image segmentation. Next, video is the shoot, boundary, and frame characteristics, Okay, and example is a histogram, camera motions, heights and lighting level. And this is the example of role of metadata in query processing. This is the conceptual view, and next one is the physical storage view. First one is the query metadata, and next one is the meta correlations and image metadata. Image metadata is meta image will be cached to the media processor, media independent and media metadata, and text it is the media process and media independence. Image is the media dependent and text is a media this is also media dependent. And same as image metadata and meta correlations and meta independent metadata all query metadata. Next, stages in clusterings. First one is the patterns, feature selection and extraction, and that is the inter pattern similarities. And next one is the grouping, patterns that is in section attraction, and it is a representation of inter pattern similarities, and these two are the go to the grouping, it is the clusters. This is the patterns. Pattern is a single data item used by clustering algorithm that represent a vector of measurements. Next, features attributes, the individual scalar components of pattern. Features attraction. Feature extraction is one or more transformations of the input features to produce more expressive features. Next, feature selection, process of identifying the most effective subset of the original features to use the clustering. And next one is the we need to mean of measuring the similarities of items to the target. Pattern proximity is measured by applying special distance function to pairs of patterns. We can decide whether the grouping step will be hard. An item may only belongs to the group. Next are the fuzzy, where each pattern has a variable degree of membership in each cluster. Next one is the clustering methods. These issues need to be taken into accounts. Next one is the agglomerative versus the divisive. Agglomerative, it is the single pattern in each cluster has only one member, merges clustering together until stop criterion is reached. Next one is the divisive. All pattern in a single cluster performs splitting procedure until stop criterion is met. Next, polythetic versus monothetics. Polythetics, it is use the whole features set together. Next, monothetic, consider one features at a time. Next, hard versus fuzzy. Hard, allocate each pattern to a single cluster. Fuzzy, assign each input pattern a fractional degree of membership to each output cluster. Next, issues about the performance with large databases. That is the incremental versus the non-incremental. This is an issue when there are constraint on execution time and memory space because of large data set. Next, deterministic versus stochastic. This is whether the process tries to optimize allocation or use essentially random search techniques. Next, key means method works well with the compact and isolated clusters. That is the random portion of the data, and keeps designs the patterns to clustering until there is no reassignment or the square error cases to decreases the significantly. The process allows k sample with the smallest measured distance between the cluster to be selected. Next, included distance metric to measures the distance between 2 points in a 3D space. Next, context distance measures that take into account the effect of the surrounding neighbor points. One metric which is defined on the context is the mutual neighboring distance. Next one is the k-means clusters with the distance between members. Cluster membership with a case member, country and cluster and distance. These are the clusters and these are the distance and these are the countries. Okay, and next one is the hierarchical clustering analysis with the single links display in a diagram that shows the nested cluster relation looks like tree in its side. Okay, these are previously we seen that countries and clusters and distance. These are the based on this table, and this is the diagrammically. Thank you.